The early 2010s was the prime time for open-world crime sims. Saints Row, Mafia, Watch Dogs, and the king of them all, GTA. Grand Theft Auto is so dominant that any game that has similarities to it is hailed as a GTA clone. These games share the core formula: driving, shooting, open worlds, and criminal activity, but each put their own twist to spawn their own game series. However, there is one game that I believe really innovated upon the GTA formula, but it never spawned a series of its own. That game is Sleeping Dogs, the best GTA clone. GTA-like games usually take place in a fictionalized version of major American cities. Sleeping Dogs takes place in Hong Kong. This shift in setting changes how the game is played. The dense city with its narrow alleyways and sprawling rooftops push you toward martial arts and away from constant gunfights. The dense urban setting allows for new forms of traversal uncommon to the genre. The parkour system is utilized in chase sequences and general exploration to move around the city. The setting also strengthens the game's narrative. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop tasked with infiltrating the Sun On Yee triad, which he is personally connected to. Some of the members are his childhood friends, one of which is responsible for his sister's death. Throughout the story, Wei forms close bonds with the triad and has to grapple with where his loyalty lies. Is it to the police force or the Sun On Yee? Making Wei an undercover cop is so interesting from a narrative standpoint. You work your way up the ranks, growing closer to these people, and in the back of your head, you know you'll have to betray them. This dual identity is where Sleeping Dogs starts to separate itself from GTA. On one side, you commit crimes to maintain your cover. On the other, you're actively investigating criminals. You plant bugs, tail cars, and compile evidence of crimes to disrupt the Triad's business dealings. This contrast in gameplay reinforces the fact that Wei is living a double life. Combat is where Sleeping Dogs most clearly breaks away from the GTA formula. Instead of relying on gunplay as the primary system, the game is built around martial arts. Encounters are close range and require combos, counters, and timed parries to take down groups of enemies. A major part of this system is how interactive it is with the environment. Enemies can be thrown into walls, shoved off ledges, or slammed into hazards, turning the world itself into a weapon. This makes fights feel more physical and controlled compared to the more chaotic shootouts in GTA. Guns still exist, but they are heavily restricted. There is no traditional weapon wheel and no gun stores. Firearms are mostly limited to mission scenarios, reinforcing the idea that Wei is an undercover cop operating within rules, not a roaming criminal with unlimited access to weapons. Even gunplay is designed differently. When using cover, Wei can vault over it in slow motion, and each successful kill extends the slow motion effect. This rewards precision and turns gunfights into cinematic, controlled moments rather than free-form chaos. Overall, the combat system reinforces the game's identity. It's less about overwhelming firepower and more about disciplined, close-quarters control. You may be wondering, if the game was so good, why did it never get a sequel? To answer that question, we will have to look at the game's hectic development cycle. The game was originally pitched in 2007, titled Black Lotus, and was to be developed by Treyarch. It was envisioned as a female-led assassin game inspired by Kill Bill. The publisher, Activision, stopped development because they did not think a game with a female protagonist would sell well. Development was resumed in 2008 by United Front Games under a new title, True Crime Hong Kong. This would have been the third entry in the True Crime series, a GTA clone with poor critical and financial performance. It was announced in 2009 with a fall 2010 release window. This would fall through with the game being completely cancelled in 2011. Activision did not give the developers a proper budget. They wanted a GTA quality game, but did not want to pay GTA prices. Activision CEO Eric Hirschberg would state that the game would have to be a pretty incredible success in order to be worth the investment that it was taking to get it done. The cancellation was devastating to the developers. especially since the game was almost content complete. This is where things should have ended. It was another game that ran into development issues and then swept under the rug. Luckily enough, Square Enix bought the publishing rights. The game would be renamed to Sleeping Dogs and released in 2012 as part of Square Enix's high-profile releases, alongside Hitman Absolution and the Tomb Raider reboot. The game would sell 1.5 million copies, but did not live up to Square Enix's expectations. Hitman and Tomb Raider would also underperform, leading to a $61 million loss for the company. Sleeping Dogs 2 was cancelled in 2013 because Square Enix was in a bad position and chose to focus on the two established franchises moving forward. It is an unfortunate reality that if Square Enix's other titles were more successful, we would have gotten more Sleeping Dogs. It is clear that this game is more than just another GTA clone. The setting, protagonist's dual life, and melee-centric combat work together to create a game that feels uniquely Sleeping Dogs. No other game lets you impale enemies with swordfish, leap across rooftops, and experience Max Payne-esque shooting. Its failure is not because the game was unoriginal, but because of the publisher's financial problems. Sleeping Dogs is not just the best GTA clone, it redefines what a GTA clone can be. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a really fun topic to talk about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.